So thanks very much for having me. As you know, my name is Allison Schneider, and we've talked a lot in our previous meetings about my communications chops, but tonight I want to take a few minutes and talk to you about me and my background and why it's the right choice for your campaign. You know that campaigns are very small and we need to get along, we need to have a very strong team, so I wanted to give you some background on me. I grew up in the Midwest, Port Huron, Michigan, which is a border town with Canada. It's also the boyhood home of Thomas Edison. Midwest was a great place to grow up. It was a very hardworking background. We didn't have a lot, but my parents taught me that by working hard, you can change your circumstances, and that's one of the reasons I'm a Republican. Governor Huckabee put it best, I think. He said, I'm not a Republican because I grew up rich. I'm a Republican because I grew up poor, and I didn't want to spend the rest of my life waiting for the government to save me. So that was something that I really internalized growing up. I took away a lot of the great Midwestern values like friendliness, helpfulness, and a love of cheese. So that's something that I would like to bring to your campaign. Growing up, I also learned a lot of our family history. My ancestors fought in the Revolutionary War, and hearing those stories about how these patriots sacrificed their lives and fortunes so that we could live in the greatest democracy in the world is something that I've internalized. And it's the reason that I have a passion for politics. It really jump-started it from a young age. So when you're working 18-hour days on a campaign trail, you can't do it without that passion, and I found that that's what really motivates me. It's getting up every day to share our message of economic prosperity for all people and working for great candidates that I really believe in, like Ambassador Foley. I went to the University of Michigan where they expected us go blue. Where they expected us to be the leaders and the best, and that was a tall order to fulfill. But while I was there, I was able to start Students for McCain for the University of Michigan and take on those leadership responsibilities. From there, I went to Georgetown University when I moved to DC, and I completed a master's degree in the Public Relations and Corporate Communications program there. Now, neither of my parents graduated from college, so I'm proud of those accomplishments and proud to be able to use everything I've learned up until now for your campaign, because the people of Connecticut, they do need better leadership, and they need a Tom Foley now. When I was working in DC, I worked on a lot of campaigns and they were close to home. It was door knocking in my neighborhood. It was making phone calls after work for candidates at the RNC. But then in November of 2011, I got a phone call. It said, Allison, can you move for a year to Connecticut to work for Linda McMahon for Senate? I had never been to Connecticut. I didn't know anyone in Connecticut. I didn't know anyone from Connecticut. But I was confident that my experiences, my strengths, would play well to this, because in addition to the passion and the leadership that I bring, my most unique trait that lends itself well to this position is communication and relationship building. I knew that by going to Connecticut, I would be able to make strong emotional connections very quickly with the people that we needed to. I was able to call all of these people at a moment's notice and get them in to fill the door when we had the candidate coming on a super Saturday. They did that because we had a relationship. They kept coming back because they saw the value in what they were doing, and that was something I was able to communicate to them. So despite moving across the country to a new state where I didn't know anyone, I was able to get people in the door, get them to knock on their neighbors' doors, make phone calls, and talk to their friends. That's what you'll get with me, and it's where I differentiate myself from the other candidates. This relationship building skill is what I will use to rekindle those connections. Since I have worked in Connecticut before, I'm eager to get back to talking to my favorite folks and build the new connections with journalists and other media professionals so that we can share the story of Ambassador Foley's business experience and why it's the right choice for Connecticut now. Why taxes are so high, why there's so much unemployment in the state when it could be different. So I want to utilize everything I've learned, all of my experience up until now, my hard work, my passion, my leadership, and my relationship building to push this campaign forward and really hit the ground running.